Welcome my subscribers and viewers of PTE Pearson and IELTS channel. Today we are going to discuss about PTE speaking item, which is read aloud. How you have to read aloud so that you can get more score. Remember, this is a heavy scoring area. If you are dealing with this item properly and consciously with full of attention, definitely your score is going to be more in speaking area, as well as this area is contributing to reading score as well. So let's see. First we'll see sub skills of speaking. So here you are assessed for two skills, which is speaking and reading. You have to speak for a purpose, like you have to repeat the text or 6 to 7 texts which are given to you to inform or to explain how well you are a reader of an English text. You have to read a text aloud. At the same time, you should remember that you should speak at a natural rate, that you are not copying anyone, and at the same time producing a fluent speech. So fluency matter most here. Fluency means you need not to take more pauses and breaks. You have to continue speaking as you are reading the text, using correct information, and pronunciation also going to be an award if your pronunciation is good. At the same time, you have to use correct stress pattern or intonation that we are saying to get more score. And speaking under timed condition, which is of 30 to 40 seconds. That means you are given time to first read yourself and then record for the same time when the computer starts. Another skill that is being assessed here is reading. So here you need not to write the read aloud text only, but you have to identify the purpose of the writer. What is the style? What is the tone of the passage or the text or the attitude of the writer in 3 or 4 sentences? At the same time, you have to understand the academic vocabulary which is being used there in the read aloud. Reading a text under timed condition can be fruitful for you for getting your desired score. That is again 30 to 40 seconds. So now we are going to see the text which you have to read, how you have to read it, where you have to take right pauses, and how you have to produce a better pronunciation to score more. For example, as you see, there are some slashes or backslashes in the text given, and this is the real PTE item which you are going to face if you are lucky enough. So how you have to read this? You just have to practice it at home after watching this video. And in this video we are going to see minimum 6 items which are according to your PTE pattern. According to your PT test, there are 6 to 7 items. So I have chosen 6 items here for you so that you can get the right idea that how you have to read it and how you have to score more in this area by taking right pauses, right intonation. As you can see, the single slash means a short pause. Where the double slash are given, that means there is a little pause. But remember, Your pause should not be more than 3 seconds. Otherwise, you will not be able to record your response. So first, I give you some time to try it yourself, and then I give you the model answer how you have to speak for this. Okay, I think you have done the reading of this. So how you have to read this model answer? Let's see. Australia's black swans. The heading will not be given to you in the exam on the screen, but the text will be given from before to the state. So only you have to read the text only. But before starting this, you have to read the instructions carefully, which is given on the top of the screen, so that you can perform better within the given time frame. So how you have to read this text? Let's see. Before European explorers had reached Australia, it was believed that all swans were white. Black swans, Australia, have been closely linked. During the 19th century, the original Western Australia colony was called the Swan River Settlement. In 1973, the black swan was officially proclaimed as the bird emblem of the government of Western Australia and now appears on the state. So, in this way, if you are reading with a chunk system, which is already given to you in the form of slashes, commas, breaks, or full stops that you have to use so that you cannot breathe out or you perform it better. Without chunk system, you cannot go. We cannot get more score. And for this item type, you have to practice a lot, because this item is going to be a scoring area for you, both for reading and for speaking. Moving to the next item, let's see this. Introverts. You just have time to read the text. Remember, the information which is given in the bracket, you need not to read this. You just have to read the information which is out the bracket, because in your exam mostly bracket information is not given. So let's have a reading of this, try it yourself, and then we'll see the right pattern. Okay, some of you have done, I think, reading. So let's see how you have to do this item. Introverts tend to recharge by spending time alone. They lose energy from being around people for long periods of time, particularly large crowds. Extroverts, on the other hand, gain energy from the other. Sorry, I'll read it one more time. Extroverts tend to recharge by spending time alone. they lose energy from being around people for long periods of time, particularly large crowds. Extroverts, on the other hand, gain energy from other people. Extroverts actually find their energy is sapped when they spend too much time alone. They recharge by being social. So here you get answer like little bit when I stuck in between the sentence as I started it again, but you should not make the same mistake in your exam. If you're stuck somewhere, try to read continuously without taking a pause, and don't correct yourself, because if you correct yourself, that means you are highlighting yourself that you have made a mistake, and for that computer will decrease your score and you will not be able to re-record anything. So you have to continue speaking till the time you are going to finish the item. Let's see the next item one more time. We'll practice another item. Few seconds to read it. Okay, so I think you have read the text. So remember that the slash is given to take a break. With the right intonation, you are going to score. Okay, so let's get started with. While blue is one of the most popular colors, it is one of the least appetizing. Blue food is rare in nature. Food researchers say that when humans searched for food, they learned to avoid toxic or spoiled objects, which were often blue, black, or purple. When food dyed blue is served to study subjects, they lose appetite. So in this way, you are not going to breathe out. At the same time, you are giving a natural and confident speech. So the same way you have to work on your read aloud. Remember, as I made the mistake in the previous item, you will not make the same mistake in your exam, right? Okay. Let's move to this. Have a reading of this text and we'll again work on it. Hope you read the passage, this text, small text. Lincoln's apparent radical change of mind about his war power to emancipate slaves was caused by the escalating scope of war, which convinced him that any measures to weaken the Confederacy and strengthen the Union war effort was justifiable as a military service. Here for you students, I would like to read in the different way as majority of the students read before taking a pause, and at the same time I am going to show you that why majority of the students are not getting score for the same item when they have to read only, which is I don't think a difficult task. So let's see how majority of the students read without practicing a lot. So they just read it without taking right pauses, and the computer or maybe the person is not getting the idea where the sentence is ended and when the new sentence starts. So let's see. Lincoln's apparent radical change of mind about his war power to emancipate slaves was caused by the escalating scope of war, which convinced him that any measures to weaken the Confederacy and strengthen the Union war effort was justifiable as a military necessity. So, you see, if the student is reading in this way, they are not making the right intonation, and that is the bigger mistake that majority of the students are making and fail to score more in read aloud, which is very easy item. And as per my experience, if you practice in this way for a week, I guarantee that you will get your desired score for sure. Let's see the next one. In the next video, I will describe where you have to put right stress, how you have to use intonation to crack this item to get more score. Before that, today we are going to read this again, Tesla, which is frequently repeated in your PT exam. Read the text yourself. Okay, I think you have read this text yourself. Now, the way we have to read it. Tesla actually worked for Edison early in his career. Edison offered him to pay the modern equivalent of $1 million to fix the problems he was having with his DC generators and motors. Tesla fixed Edison's machines, and when he asked for money, he was promised. Edison laughed him off and had this to say, "Tesla, you don't understand our American humor." Have you noticed something? If yes, comment below to mention that. What was that in this Tesla item? So that I can get the idea whatever I am teaching you, you are getting it properly or not. So comment here below. Okay. Moving toward the next item. Yellow. Have a reading yourself. Okay, I think you have read this passage. So now read it with me if you can. Where you have to take a break. Let's see. Yellow is the most optimistic color, yet surprisingly, people lose their tempers most often in yellow rooms, and babies cry more in them. The reason may be that yellow is the hardest color on the eye. On the other hand, it speeds metabolism and enhances concentration. Think of yellow legal pads and post-it notes. I read it slowly so that you can go with me to get the right pronunciation. If you find this video valuable, subscribe my channel, share it with your friends as well. Okay. Thank you for watching PTE Pearson and IELTS channel. Like the video If you find it valuable, share it with your friends, at least 3 friends. Comment for the queries and questions. Press the bell icon after subscribing it. You can mail me, you can WhatsApp me, the number which is given below for any query of or for any help.